Hi, Evangeline. It's nice to see you again and have you here in our virtual Classic 107 Zoom studio.
Thank you very much, Chris. Happy to be here.
hmm I'd like to first start out by asking, how are you doing and how is the MRMTA doing? And the first question that pops to my mind really is, are you finding that teachers are getting zoomed out, or are they sort of just dealing with the fact that everything is being done remotely? How has that been working over this past several months?
Well, I think you've hit on a good point there. I know that some teachers have been teaching completely online for over a year now, and they are getting zoomed out. We're winding up the teaching year at this point, and I think most teachers are going to be happy to have a break for the summer.
Yeah. It's funny. Speaking as a private teacher myself, I don't know what it is, but I find Zoom lessons more exhausting than
Yeah.
actually sitting next to the student. I
Yeah.
don't know what it is. It's the strangest thing. So something super exciting is happening between July 8th and July 10th. The Canadian Federation of Music Teachers Association's Connecting Canada conference is happening. This is a national conference that takes place every 2 years. Can you quickly give us a description of what the CFMTA conference is and what exactly it consists of?
So the CFMTA conferences are meant to bring teachers from across the country together every couple of years. There are workshops and different lecture sessions one can attend. There's a trade show. There will be keynote speakers. Usually there are some performance events involved as well. And it's a time of inspiration for teachers and also a time to meet friends from across the country.
Yeah, it sounds so great. And I was on the website, and there are some super exciting speakers and uh, you know motivational speakers. You've got Misha Brugger Gossman as the keynote speaker, and Pat Carabray and Danuk Wijaratne. Have you met them? Like, can you tell us a little bit more about the speakers?
I have not met any of those speakers actually. I'm super excited that we managed to, I don't know, convince isn't the right word, but to bring them on board for the conference. And there are lots of other, other speakers as well that are doing some workshop presentations and so on. And those speakers were brought together through a call for proposals that was put out by the conference committee. And I think altogether there were about 40 proposals that came in. And then a subcommittee was part of the subcommittee that went through those proposals and chose some that were most relevant to the theme, Connecting Canada Musical Diversity.
hmm Uh, Speaking for myself, I'm just going to jump in. Pat Carabay was my orchestration teacher when I was at BU, and when I first started at Brandon University, he was the dean. He's an excellent speaker, and he's perfect. And then also we've had Danuk Wijaratne here on the station for interviews, and you want to listen to a guy. He's not only inspirational as far as his music, but also just in the spoken word. He's really exceptional. So they're wonderful speakers. You alluded to this earlier. There is a trades show side to the conference. What's that going to look like virtually?
Well, that's an interesting question. And I have to say, I'm having a little trouble picturing it myself because I'm not, I've been teaching, of course, online like a lot of other people, but to think about going to a trade show online is kind of unusual. So I know that there are going to be virtual booths, and I'm assuming that that will look something like online shopping. As well, some of the vendors are giving presentations to, to promote their product and so on. And those would be, some are pre-recorded and some are live sessions. So the whole conference is going to be a mix of live and pre-recorded. Both with vendors and with the presentations. The keynote speakers are all live presentations.
So it's a national conference. is there a city that's acting as sort of like the center, and how is the content for the conference being disseminated to across the country? Like, is there a center, and how's that working?
Well, 2 years ago, Winnipeg was the host city for this conference. So for me personally, it's been a challenge to shift thinking between planning something for people to come to at the Hotel Fort Garry and having something that people are going to online. So it's that part of it's been quite fascinating to me. Our committee members, the chairperson lives in Halifax, but we have committee members from Newfoundland all the way to the Yukon, right across the country. And we've been meeting online every second Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. for me. So in BC, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, right.
In Newfoundland, 12:30.
Yeah.
And that's in itself has been hard to get your brain around. So there isn't really one place that's hosting it per se, which makes it a truly national conference, and that's exciting in itself. The platform we're using is called Whova, and it's, I'm probably not the person to talk to about the technology end of it, but I know that it will support the live and the pre-recorded, and the pre-recorded would act like a premiere. It's set to premiere at a certain time on the schedule.
Right, right, right. Yeah, the last time the conference was held was here in Winnipeg, and it's my understanding it was you and Annette Hay, who is a member of the Manitoba Registered Music Teachers Association, who set the 2019 conference up. Can you quickly talk about what that was like?
Well, yes, Annette Hay and I were the co-chairs of that conference, and of course we had a committee of about 12 people, I believe it was, working to make the arrangements for that. So, with an in-person, that started, I came onto the committee in summer of 2017, but there had been preliminary work done ahead of that. And, it just takes a lot of planning, a lot of details, arrangements with the hotel in our case. And so that is, a different thing now. And as well, the virtual conference for this year really only started to get planned in the fall of last year. So it's all been quite intense in that way, in that, it had to get done in a short time frame.
Mm-hmm. I was also doing some reading about this year's conference. One of the really interesting things is there is now a association from the Northwest Territories, and apparently they just recently joined. How did that come about? That is exciting.
It is very exciting. They are the second territory. Yukon has been a member, I think, for about 10 years. And I believe a lot of the legwork kind of behind the scenes was done by people from the Yukon in conversation with those from Northwest Territories. And yeah, we're really excited to have them on board and to expand the CFMTA.
Yeah. So you've got the lectures and the discussions, and then you've got the vendors who are part of the conference, but there's also a competition element to the conference as well. Who will be representing Manitoba, and can you talk about that a little bit?
I would love to, because we're very proud and happy to have two competitors. There is a national piano competition and a national vocal competition. And our competitor in the piano competition is Angela Ng. She's a student of David Moreau's. And our competitor in the voice competition is Ashley Schneeberger, and she's a student of Tracy Dahl. So these two winners, or competitors, were chosen from the scholarship competitions as the advanced level winners. And that's how they came to represent Manitoba.
Mm-hmm. And can you touch on what the prizes are and how the jury is going to work for the selection of the winners?
Mm-hmm. So there are 3 piano adjudicators and 3 vocal adjudicators. The piano adjudicators are Jared Dunn, Megumi Masaki, and Dale Wheeler. The voice adjudicators are Daryl Edwards, Othalie Graham, and J. Patrick Raftery. And all of these adjudicators have ties to Canada. Either they live here, work here, whatever. So they will be adjudicating video performances, of course, of the competitors this time. And the prizes, first prize in both the competitions is $5,000. Second is $3,000, and second prize is $3,000. Third prize is $2,000. And there are also other prizes for things like specific repertoire. A new prize this year is diversity award. So the competitors have been asked to include a piece representing diversity in some way.
Oh, wow. Oh, it's amazing. There's just one more question that's sort of going around my head. I'm a shopper, put it out there. The vendors, what kind of vendors are going to be at the conference? Like, is it sheet music? Is it supplies? Like, can you just go a little bit into that?
Well, I know that the ones that I know for sure are going to be there are the Royal Conservatory of Music, Conservatory Canada, Ultimate Music Theory, which is Gloria St. Germain right here in Winnipeg.
Yep.
And I know there are others too. I'm sorry, I don't have that list right at the tip of my fingers there.
So, but knowing what I know about the Royal Conservatory and Conservatory Canada, I presume it's going to be syllabuses,
Hmm.
possibly music that is found in the syllabus. I can only imagine.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't know.
so. Yeah,
Hmm.
sorry, I don't have a lot of information about that part.
Yeah, it still sounds great.
Yeah.
Evangeline, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me today. If people want to register for the conference, where can they
Mhm.
go?
You can register at cfmta.org, and the registration is $49. Like, I'm sorry, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
To have access to all of those sessions, the speakers, there are some performance events as well. And all of the events, or most, I shouldn't say all, pardon me, most of the events will be available to view until the end of July.
Yeah.
So even
Wow.
though the conference itself is July 8 to 10, the live ones will be recorded to be viewed later.
Hmm.
Great deal.
Yeah, so $49 for teachers throughout the month of July just to see these amazing things and hear these amazing lectures and be inspired to help push them through the summer and
Yeah.
hopefully a better September.
Oh,
Evangeline,
please.
this has just been just great. And for all our Classic 107 listeners out there, I'll embed a link to the conference registration website. You can find that at classic107.com. Evangeline, it's been great as always. Thanks so much for talking to me today.
Thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate it.